Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Megan.
I'm Joel.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everybody. It's so nice to see you. Starting off this morning, we are working on getting the farm market set up. And I thought about it for a minute. I always talk about setting up the farm market, but I never really show you what goes into it. As you guys know, when we close up the farm market, we take everything and put it away in the cooler. And if you look at this cooler, it may look a little cramped right now, but you can actually fit a lot of stuff in here. We also have a room in the back that opens up if we need to put even more stuff in here. By the use of our pallet jacks, we put everything away, and then in the morning, we pull everything back out.
This variety has skinny ears on it, and sometimes they think it's not filled out nice, so I open a couple up.
One of the biggest things we try to do, we try to make everything look as nice as possible. Because although we know everything that we grow will taste good, for people to want to buy it, it also needs to look good. When we get started in the morning, the first thing we do is we vacuum our floors and then we wipe down all of our tables. Over the past couple years, sanitation has been pushed to the forefront, which I think is very important. I think that's an area where there could always be improvement, and we make a very big effort in trying to keep everything sanitized.
I need a box of donut peaches and a box of peaches, please.
We just went through and looked at everything. The stuff looks good. We've got it all filled up, and we've already had a few customers show up, so it's time to get the day started. It feels like last year. We're gonna start every video off with picking sweet corn now. We got our first bin of sweet corn picked. That was for an order. Now we're gonna be working on our second bin of sweet corn. That's for the farm market. We were picking the sweet corn up on this hill, and right when we got over the ridge, there's this little rocky spot, and the sweet corn isn't ready there. Because it was rockier, all the water drained away, which means the corn didn't grow as tall, so the ears aren't as large. The sweet corn will get larger eventually, but it's not ready yet. So we're gonna go over to another field. We've moved back over to our original sweet corn field. This sweet corn over here is Providence, so it is a thinner looking ear, but they are all ripe. We have arrived at our second planting of cucurbits. The way the schedule falls today, we need to pick all of this.
The way to pick is 2 guys pick a row.
Because the cucumber rows are so thick, we're starting to pick with 1 person on that side and 1 person on this side. We usually prefer to have 1 person picking each row, but because the plants are so prolific, I can't reach all the way over there. So it just makes it a little more difficult. You like that word, Joel?
I'm getting a little too educated here.
The amazing thing about all these cucurbits is that we've picked these probably like 10-15 times already, and we're gonna pick them probably another 5 or 10 times yet.
These Eureka cucumbers really give us a nice harvest, but we have noticed it's starting to slow down a little bit, and we think it's because of the weather. Now, these plants don't last forever. There is always a time where they start to slow down in production, but over the last couple days, our weather has been really nice to work in. Our weather over the past couple days has been in the low 70s, and at night has been in the low 50s, and even dropping down into the 40s. I don't know about you guys, but to me that sounds like perfect weather to work in. Although it's nice to work in, it's not great for the vegetables. Vegetables like cucumbers love hot, humid weather. And that hot, humid weather pushes a lot more growth onto these plants. If we look down in here, we can see some of the plant is starting to lose its life, but we are always pushing new growth at the end. However, because our weather is a little cooler than normal, that growth is slowing down. If our plants are slowing down, that means they're not producing as many cucumbers, which means we get less to harvest. So although our weather is really nice to work in right now, it's not the best when it comes to producing more vegetables. It's only gonna be like this for a week, and then our weather gets back into prime vegetable weather. We have just about got the pickling cucumbers finished, but then we ran out of some baskets. I'm walking back to the tractor to get some baskets because after these pickling cucumbers, we're gonna pick our regular cucumbers. We just finished off our last of the pickling cucumbers. Now we're moving on to regular cucumbers. Daniel and Dad have been working on this row, and as you can see, there is a lot of nice cucumbers. There is a lot of production still there.
My goodness, Andrew, look at this. There you go, that's my grandpa impersonation.
Why are you impersonating me?
Oh my goodness, look at these. Look at the size.
That was pretty good.
Fortunately, the last time we picked all those cucumbers, we were able to sell them all, which made us really happy. And we actually got a call back. We've got some more people that need cucumbers. So hopefully we can get enough for the orders that we have now.
I need a basket.
Whoa.
Whoa, have I ever?
Yeah, what is with this? The verbal attack.
Whoa. I think Daniel's just upset I got put on pump duty this afternoon.
There you go. Take the one. You guys are sitting on a basket. Here you go. I help the skid steer over. Oh, did you? Load it up with round bales. Round bales home, dump them off. Beautiful cubes. We got everything picked up. There was a lot of cucumbers there, and we got a nice amount of pickling cucumbers. So that should hold us over.
Beautiful.
Are you still imitating Grandpa?
Nah, I don't have the right chair.
Just giving you a quick look at what we got. A lot of nice stuff. We didn't count it up, but this should do us. A lot of these cucumbers are already sold. We've got to wash them, and we've got to wash our pickling cucumbers. But before we do that, we are gonna go and eat lunch. What are we having for lunch? Sandwiches.
For some of you that have been watching the channel for a long time, you guys are a little familiar with the horse stable. But for those that are fresh to this channel, myself and my mom run a horse stable. My mom's the owner and I manage it. We usually have between 18 and 20 horses on the stable that we take care of. Usually about 4 or 5 are ours and the rest are others that we take care of. So now let's go park the four-wheeler and we'll continue on with our day. This right here is our local baler twine deposit. We'll fill that whole thing with baler twine because the horse stable, we use mostly square bales at the moment. We're beginning to start to use round bales. For those of you that are on the channel for a while, you've probably seen this little girl right here. This is our dog, Leia. We got her about 9 years ago. She is a Shar-Pei Shiba Inu cross. She helps us feeding horses. Leia's on the farm 6 days a week. Yes, she does get 1 day as a day off. She's a hard-working animal, that's for sure. When we're here in the horse stable, we don't group feed horses. Some people do, but we find that we can't identify what each horse needs, and every horse has a different need when it comes to the vitamins that they need, the food that they need. Not to mention, horses can sometimes be very aggressive with other horses. Horses have a pecking order, and there's always a horse that's in charge of the herd and a horse that's on the bottom. So what that means is the horse on the bottom, if you were group feeding, almost always gets the least amount of food because he's always pushed away from a group feeding situation. So that's why you see most horse stables have stalls instead of a giant group feeding area, where the horse can basically be completely fine on their own. They don't have to be worried about being attacked or anything like that. And we get an idea of how they're looking. You'll notice that the stalls all have bright lights in them. That's new. Usually we'd go in with flashlights, but it's kind of nice that we have these bright lights so we can kind of take a look at them and make sure that they're okay. Do a visual inspection of them to make sure that there's no new cuts, nicks, or marks on them. as well as check their hooves to make sure they're not bleeding. Make sure there's nothing like an abscess that's forming, which is basically an infection in the hoof that really hurts them. And so that has to be taken care of from time to time. In the summer, certain horses have certain needs. This is Maverick. Okay, you see how his nose is nice and pink? So what can happen here is Maverick can get sunburn, but we actually have to put sunscreen on his nose, otherwise it'll blister up and it'll really hurt him. And his lips are fingers. That's what he uses to eat grass and hay. So if his lips are really hurting him, that's gonna affect how much food he eats, which ultimately affects his health. We do a wide variety of things to ensure that the horses are comfortable, and therefore that ensures that they're healthy, which means that our customers are satisfied. So for example, Mr. Suede here gets a fly mask, and his owner also wants him to have swat on his belly. A fly mask, you might see these on horses. You might be thinking, how can a horse see through that? So it's basically like a screen on your window. It allows you to see through it completely fine, but it keeps the flies out of his ears and out of his eyes. You guys aren't gonna believe this, but there is no camera mounts in any of these stalls. But my mom is the one that usually takes care of these horses. She's the one that sets the charts, and she's actually the one that built the stable. My job is basically anytime something needs to be repaired or fixed, my dad or myself will be in charge of fixing it. This guy here is Champ. You can see he's got a very white pink nose, which means we're gonna have to put some sunscreen on him. There you go. Good. Ooh, I know it's cold. It's cold. Rub it in. Come on, gentlemen, let's go. You're right here. You know the drill. Also, I just wanted to put this out there for anyone who's confused as to the family relations. Grandpa is my uncle or my mom's brother, and my mom is the one that runs the horse stable. Her brother is the one that runs the farm. So that's why we're family, that's why we're connected. Thus, I'm a cousin to Matthew, Andrew, and Daniel. However, being that we were all raised so close, our businesses are so close, and as you guys can tell from the videos, our family is so close, my cousins are a lot more like my brothers. I have no brothers, I'm an only child, but I do have a sister. Right, Leia? So that's it, all the horses are out. During the middle of the day is usually when you'll see me working over with Brian on the farm, or I'll end up having some things I need to take care of here on the stable. Which is why sometimes I show up late, and why sometimes Grandpa always says, "Where's Joel? Where's Joel?" He knows where I am. That'll be it for you guys with me for now. If you guys like seeing stuff about the horse stable, definitely let us know down in the comments, so that way we can include it. So, let us know down in the comments below.
Hey, I just got home. I had to go to a doctor's appointment. Not for me, not for me. It was for the baby. Everything's good. It was just a scheduled checkup. Baby is healthy. Did you get some peppers? We just got the farm market closed up. Someone dropped off a baby gift. How sweet was that? But now we're gonna head up to the house. All right, we get into the house, and as you can see, there's no dinner on the table. That's because Lauren and I are getting food out tonight. We're having a little date night. Well, Lauren, Callie, and myself, all three of us. So that means this is where we're gonna end the video. We want to thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!